I don't see color. Now that's a lie. But if all you see is color, now you're a liar. Woo, what's going on with our race baiting media? I swear, I can't let my kids watch idle television because I just know every conversation, it could be third and long and they're going to make it racial. Every conversation that goes off the rails immediately grabs the rails of race and racism. Woo. So there are a few people out there that I listen to because at least they talk from both sides, right? Everyone has their bias. We get it. We're all different human beings with different experiences. But when I listen to a Charles Barkley, at least I know I'm going to hear him keep it 1,000 wow, right? Right or wrong, he's going to give it to you from the heart, not with agenda, not from an agenda. So I was thinking about this because the Tyreek Hill situation really hits home with me, and I'm sure a lot of people out there. That's why it's such a viral moment, because there's so many elements at play. You got celebrity, right? You got this professional athlete. You got a black guy. You got a rich black guy. You got a guy who has a troubled past and some issues in his past. But, hey, was this a part of that? And, it's just so many layers. NFL and just life in general is the greatest soap opera there is, best reality show. But then I just started to notice the coverage of it. Just like if you watch the debate, everybody watched the debate, you can look at, there's one thing, Kamala, and there's one thing, Donald Trump, I said her name right this time, and there's another thing where, damn, ABC moderators, like, it just looks a little out of balance. Kind of like when you watch an NFL game, you're always looking at the refs like, come on, dog. Like, it's never a perfect balance. I get it. But right now, we're going to try and strike that balance by walking through this race-baiting media. Let's get through this right now as Charles Barkley starts to talk on the issue that happened with Tyreek Hill.
I want to ask you, we're going to go a little long here. Your thoughts what happened with Tyreek Hill?
So, I don't know what happened. I think it clearly escalated quickly.
Yes.
I hate that we're going to throw it in the media because, the guys are going to quickly go to race.
Yeah.
And it bothers me because we don't know what happened.
Same.
Because
we weren't there.
Because we got so many fools in the media who love to play the race card. I says, well, wait a minute. They just did the same thing to Scotty Scheffler.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Right? Yeah. I says, sometimes, I think the one thing you can't do as a celebrity.
Now, obviously, this is before the body cam footage, or he had seen the body cam footage. But this is exactly what my point was in my first video. I said, look, I don't know everything, but I'm going to tell you what my tea leaves are telling me. I'm a little different. Like, I got the platform, the time. This is just one of those generic interviews. I was breaking it down. My first video. And I said, look, everybody knows this. I don't know why. Like, if you're from where the police do the surveillance the most, the hood, whatever you want to call it, inner city, if you just know police interactions, it's rare that somebody is on that ground without doing something, raising their hand, raising their finger, raising something to contribute to that. Why? Because I've been pulled over a gang of times, and how many times have I been in that position? Once. And that's because I looked like the robber, and I actually did. I knew that situation. I told you that before. But my friends, everybody, all my boys, dog, guess what? I ain't even do nothing, nigga. Man, look, dog, you ain't got to tell me that story. I know your ass. I know you. How about this? I was there. I've seen it before. Cats get roughed up. I'm getting caught stealing. I was a thief in high school. I told y'all that. And look, am I here? Did I go to jail? No. We're going to get into responsibility. We're going to get into behavior. We're going to get into actions. We're going to get into your contributions to your own issues. Let's talk through it.
You can't say you know who I am. And like I say, I don't know what happened, but that's the one thing you cannot do.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
You say, yes, sir.
Yep.
You know why you can't say you know who I am? Because if they knew who you were, you wouldn't have to say it, right? So now they like, I'm going to give you what you deserve. Oh, you want more than that? And we're starting off on the wrong foot? Because guess what? I only pulled you over because you did something wrong. Like, I've never been pulled over. I can't think of when I ain't do anything wrong. Anything. Like, weaving in and out of traffic. I've done that. How many times I got to put that on YouTube. Ooh, next video. No, I don't want that one. Error. I'm like all in the other lane. Thank God the Tesla beeps. Everything. Legal U-turn. Oh, I didn't see that, officer. No turn on the red. Oh, my bad. And imagine, you think you the star. You think you really saying something. Boo, he deals with this all day, every day. Just like you with your kids. Can't you tell when your kids are lying? I know I can. You know why? Because I got repetitions. I can see it. Whenever my son goes like this, he starts staring up in the sky and then that head go back. I'm like, oh, God, this is going to be the best story I ever heard. Come on, y'all. Stop playing with these cops.
Cooperate.
Cooperate 100%. And he, like I say, I don't know what happened, but like I say, when we let these fools on TV and the radio start talking about it, they go straight to, was it racism? I'm like, well, wait a minute now. We don't know that. And I saw the police report say he was uncooperative. Mm-hmm. So like I say, but the one thing I hate when we put stuff in the media and we let guys who race bait start throwing stuff out there. Like I say, wait a minute, the same thing just happened to Scotty Scheffler, who actually got booked.
Yeah,
he actually got booked.
He went down.
He went down to the big house.
Yes, he did.
So it's funny on this show, since we're going to be real and honest, there's going to be some people that we all got in our mind who race bait, right? And when he's saying race bait, I think what we have taken that now to mean is if it's a black person involved or a person of color sometimes. It's weird. It's usually a person of color, but now it's got to be black because the people arresting Tyreek Hill or detaining Tyreek Hill were people of color, right? We all together people of color, except when you arrest us, then we gotta draw a line. We talking about black people. But race baiting is when you just insert that he's black. Like that's supposed to change how we look at the objective truths of that situation. I'm not built like that. That's why I'm an Uncle Tom sellout and a lot of things that people want to say about me, and I take it with a great amount of compliment because I am not a sellout. I just didn't buy into the BS. Catch that? Not a sellout, just don't buy into BS. My life's not dictated by my color, by my complexion, by my epidermis. Even if people react to me based off of my color, I don't care. I got more control over my actions than your reactions. I don't care if somebody's racist. I don't care if I walk in the room, somebody's staring at me. Why are they staring at you? Because you black. Oh, well. I was supposed to feel bad? He the fool. Like, I'm going to drop down in energy to his level of thinking, to his level of knowledge, which is lower if he's racist, and then deal with him? No, he a fool. Move on. You know I don't deal with fools, right? Come on. People are silly. But what he's talking about is race baiters. And we're going to show some people who have reputations as race baiters. Let's get there.
So, like I say, I don't know what happened.
They had to wake the damn judge up.
That's exactly right. But, you know, and Scotty was so pissed. He just won another $25 million. I'll show y'all.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to get y'all.
That's real. He going to get y'all. Okay. So that situation there, he done set the table. Y'all thought we was done? Oh, no. He done set the table. He set the table for what I'm going to show you next, which is, he said race baiting, right? So he said that before he knew what happened. But he read, uncooperative, duh. You think the police just pulled over Tyreek Hill, pulled over a guy in a fast car speeding and just said, get on the ground? I mean, has every single traffic stop, start off with license and registration. Now, sometimes they woofing. I remember one time a black cop came up to me and he was hot. I was like, whoa, I can see. Now, see, I'm built. Now I got control over my actions or reaction to him. So I was just like, okay, he's not going to get me riled up because he riled up because that ain't going to be a win for me. I will not win that game. He got a gun, authority. This is his world. I know I got my rights, and my right is to sue the hell out of this police force. Forget this. I ain't going to knuckle up with this fool and get shot at or shot. But I remember in that moment just saying, ooh, if I weren't me, this might be different. Because if it was my uncle or something like that, or my cousins, I know some hotheads in my family, they would have went at it, and there it went. So let's talk about this situation now, because we're going to have some guys who come in, and let's just say they come in like Barkley said they would come in. Let's go.
This is terrible, right? And I'm a good friend of Tyreek Hill. And I'm so mad it happened, but on the other side, I am kind of glad it did happen. You know why? Because you get to see what it feels like to be a black man in America, though.
Okay, all the black men in America stand up. Damn, only 1 million of y'all show up for the march? We got a lot. I know these guys. I know how they prep. I know their life experiences to a certain degree. More than probably the average bear, obviously, but not fully. What gets in their back? What strings are attached to them to start getting up there and say, now you see what it feels like to be a black man in America? When we've seen countless videos of all races in that same position or worse. Oh, there's more of us doing it. Well, if you're going to keep it 1,000, we also have more violent criminals by percentage in the black population. So that's going to already give you selective perception. You're going to start being psychologically skewed. Sorry if I'm talking a little too high, and I'm not. Well, you like every time I see the police, they messing with black people. It starts off what I just said. More than that, more than what Barkley said with Scottie Scheffler, it's just the fact that, come on, dog. Has it happened to you? Maybe. Correct me. But it's more than one of y'all about to start talking. Let's see.
Right. The difference is this person, this young man that's getting detained like this, is a superstar athlete. So he's going to continue to have his life. If it was somebody else, they might not have had their life. They might not have had a chance to go to the Dolphins game. They might have got shot.
Okay, now we already saw the video of the original cop who knocked on the window. Look at my old video if you want to see it. Didn't know who he was. Now, fast car by the Dolphin Stadium, you can make 1 + 1 be 2, not 3. I get it. But he sounded like pleasantly, like not even shocked, like, oh, and matter of fact, so what? I'm still giving this dude a ticket. He's still acting like that. Another cop told him, you know who that is? That's a star player. He didn't even say his name. He said, that's a star player for the Miami Dolphins. Why are you acting like that? That's the key. Why are you acting like that? Acting. Being tough, being non-compliant, acting. And acting like that ain't gonna have a consequence. Want to start it right here. You have the power of your choices. You don't have the power of the consequences. You don't. They should be within reason, but you don't have that power. Your choices, you have all that power. 100% power and choice, not 100% power and consequence. Act better, you get dealt with better. We know that.
The problem with this is the way they're handling him, you'd have thought he robbed a bank, he did a murder, he did attempted murder, he did something. For a speeding ticket, you get all this?
No, you don't get all that for the speeding ticket. You know what you get? Same thing I get when I get a speeding ticket. Come on, Shady, stop. Either I get off without even saying who I am because they're like, damn, this dude nice, and he told me, and he live around the corner, and he was just trying to get there. I get it. He got a lot of kids. It look at this car. It's a mess. I get off. Dog, you know how many times Shady, how many times you got off? Stop. I thought that was a black man in America. It's only the plight. Or I get the ticket. And I get the ticket. And when I get the ticket, I'm like, all right, officer, have a nice day. Pay the ticket, push it. Tesla's still rolling. I don't know this other option you talking about.
This is crazy, and we want the police to protect and serve. Is that like protecting? Is that like serving? No. You see this thing. If he wasn't Tyreek Hill, it could have gotten way more serious.
I still don't see how Tyreek Hill played into this. No one's been able to definitively point how that helped him. Why? Because other guys on his team stopped and was like, yo, what's up? Tried to come on the scene. Like, he wasn't, I know he means the world to us in football. He ain't a superstar to the world. Trust me, you know I'm not. Dog, football player, we wear helmets. Half the time they know your name before they know your face. And then when they read your name, Tyreek Hill on the driver's license, nice car, good. How you know he'll do that like football? You know how many people don't even know who is who on the team? Oh, yeah. You ever had that happen to you? Oh, yeah. That's why we wear the chains. Come on, dog. So we got the big car because you want somebody to know you got it. You ain't doing it just because. The girls already like you now. Girls like you in an Uber, as long as you got that Venmo. Let me stop. Going too far.
The most frustrating thing about it is we do not feel safe around cops. And
Do I have to rewind that one?
See this,
Do I
this
have to
thing.
rewind that
If
one?
he wasn't Tyreek Hill, it could have gotten way more serious.
the most frustrating thing about it is we do not feel safe around cops.
Now, I rock with his takes, like in football. Like James Jones, I like a lot. What is he talking about right now? I feel safe around cops all the time, to the point when I'm out and I see the element, and we all know what the element is, and I don't care what it looked like. First thing I think of is, how am I getting out of here? But I'm still going in there. This is how wired I am. This is how ignorant I am. This is how much hood is still in me. I'm still going. Oh, I'm going to that. I know how I'm getting out of here. First thing I do, how am I getting out of here? Second thing I do, who up in here? Third thing I see, where the police at? If you don't run that checklist, your ass dumb. I feel safe around, are you kidding me? Just that fight that happened in L.A., Terrence Crawford, big fight, we leaving, on the corner, there's a huddle because it's so chaotic, and it's right by USC Coliseum, all that craziness, BMO Stadium. And it's a huddle of people around the police just talking to them. Black, white, Mexican, everything. You know why? It wasn't like they were trying to see what his favorite color was. It was like, yeah, it's a lot going on there. Come on, y'all.
And that's crazy.
When you say we, break that down.
Black people does not feel safe around cops.
Black people does not, I'm gonna leave that alone. What? We do not. The thing is, you know how many people have heard that and how many people believe that? And even though there's truth to that, there are black people who don't feel safe around cops because they have been funked with. That's not the overarching narrative, or should be, in terms of black people and cops relationship. Should not be. Why? Because the devil's in the details. We acted like Tyreek Hill was the ultimate victim until we saw the body cam, and then you were like, wait a minute. But I didn't even have to wait a minute. I'm like Barkley. I'm like, don't put race into this. Your butt is on that ground for two reasons. You helped get on that ground by something you didn't do, or you got a rogue cop. Wasn't that?
And that is what really strikes a chord to me, because we don't want to call them.
My wife, every relationship I've been in, every home I've lived in, the whole lights on in the middle of the night, all night, dogs. And then if you hear one crack in the middle of the night, 2:37 a.m., first thing you doing is what? Go. I know you're going to say, I'm going to grab a strap. Okay, that's good for you. He got one too, probably, if he coming in there, but okay, so we even. What else you doing? What's your phone doing? You grabbed your phone. Why you grab your phone? Oh, you going to text the homies? You not calling the police? Can we stop? If you going to call the police because somebody may be breaking into your house, do not go on TV and then act like, oh, I'm scared to call the cops. Oh, they friendly then? We've seen also situations where people have called the cops of all races, be real, and it got ugly. We just saw one recently. Road cops, bad apples, I get it. But stop acting like that's the only thing that's out there. That's all I'm saying.
We don't want to be in certain situations with them. I talk to my kids. You know what I tell them, man? If you ever get into any situation, man, you with your friends or whatever, get to some light. Get around some people, right? If it's some cops around. That's how I'm talking to my... If it's...
He said you don't want to be in any situations to certain situations, and if you ever in an altercation or situation, get around some people. But if there's cops around, all right, a little bit of a tongue twister, a little bit of a logical pretzel there, but I think I know what he's saying. Like, get away from the cops, but also know where the cops are, something like that, right? I like James Jones, so sorry.
Cops around to where you're supposed to be safe and they're supposed to protect you. Make sure you're around some people, get into some light and all that, so people can see what's going on if they want to act up.
So get around cops. If you are around cops, make sure you got people as receipts, camera phones, friends, everybody who could vouch for it. But I don't teach my kids that, because I don't need you to be vouched for as much as I need you to do your part. Be responsible. Treat people with respect. Don't forget the golden rule. I don't care who they are. The golden rule is treat others like you want to be treated. Somebody asks you a question, well, if you flip it, guess what? They about to flip too.
My main thing with this
Look at Chase Daniel. Stuck.
whole video is, why are you so angry?
Yeah, Tyreek. Why are you so angry? It's this resentment. And it comes from these narratives that now it's pervasive in a lot of black people. Like, soon as they get pulled over, they hot 100. Admit it. Even if you love Tyreek, you hate me. He was way too hot from hello when you just got pulled over for speeding. You wrong, bruh. Why you mad at me? If I'm the cop, I'm like, dog, knock, knock. Why you, knock, knock, who's there? You mad at me for what? You the one speeding. So yeah, you're right, James. Why was Tyreek so mad?
Like, why are you so angry? The man rolled his window down and gave you his driver's license. Why are you so angry and so hostile to do this to Tyreek Hill? It's crazy to me. Being a father is tough to watch because I'm a father of 2 black boys, and I can only imagine. And I got to prepare them for all this and all that. And these dudes are supposed to be keeping us safe.
I got a black son. I got 3 black daughters. It ain't hard to watch. As a matter of fact, I can't wait till he get of age to watch this. He's only 9. I ain't giving him this yet. But when I show him this Tyreek Hill video, I'm just going to show him how there's always a fork in the road, and you better choose right. Because if you choose left, you're going to funk around and find out. Okay? I ain't got time to be at no damn funeral home talking about, oh, your rights, and we should have been in the courtroom instead of this funeral home. I ain't got no time to be in no hospital. We should be in the courtroom instead of a funeral home if they did you wrong. But this one, oh, you can see Tyreek Hill wanted to go the left road. Okay, let's go left. Oh, I don't want to go left. Why you treat me like, no, dog. You wanted to go left, I thought. And look, I know it's the police's job to de-escalate. And in this situation, I don't think they escalated. I didn't see anything of escalation. They told you what to do. They gave you lawful commands. You were disobedient to all of them. You weren't listening. I hear it. Now, I don't know any situations where you don't cooperate and it turns out better. No one does. So I don't understand this. Talk to your kids like, hey, do your part. You have power over choices. You have a complete, absolute power over your choice. You do not have absolute power over the consequences. Stop with this boogeyman is the policeman, especially when there's so many black policemen. Whoa, how bad it gotta be a black policeman right now. God dang. You talking about me, dog, I know dudes I grew up with, policemen. Shout out to my boy Joey Boulder out there while I'm out here name dropping. Sheriff, been at it forever. What, Jobo? Y'all tripping,
It's crazy.
Oftentimes, far too often, we see this, that the badge can eliminate an officer's ability to see an individual as human.
And I think the human can eliminate the fact that they're seeing another human because of that badge. You hear me? You see me? You talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
I want to remind y'all, if you watch the footage, you'll notice 3 things. The first thing you'll notice is this. Tyreek Hill never stated his celebrity status.
That's not the first thing you notice. You skipped a lot. You skipped the speeding. You skipped the window down, window up, window down, asking them to do it. You skipped the I want you to get out the car. You skipped all that to get to he didn't name drop. That's like saying, oh, I take care of my kids. You ain't supposed to name drop. Like you want credit for something you're supposed to do?
Tyreek Hill never said, I got a $140 million deal with the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill never said, all these people that are driving by us, they're driving to see me. Tyreek Hill never said who he was as it pertains to his celebrity status. The second thing I want you to pay attention to, if you were to watch the footage, the officer, as his knee is being driven through Tyreek Hill's spine, if you will, says, stop crying.
Okay. You don't have to get a knee in your spine. Tyreek Hill's the fastest dude in the NFL and got out that car the slowest. Matter of fact, he didn't even get out the car. He didn't want to get out the car. Come on, y'all, man. Y'all gonna teach y'all kids this? For real?
There's quite literally nothing more inflammatory and offensive that you can tell another grown man who is not crying to stop crying when he's not crying. The third thing.
No, in all due respect. The officer is trying to show him, you playing these silly games. Open up your hands. Here's these silly prizes. And I think that level of accountability needs to be told a lot more. Because you see, in our community, we have a lack of conversation accountability. Oh, it's a lot of accountability really in the hood, really in the neighborhood, really with black people, really in the suburbs, really with people of color. But the conversation and narrative, as Barkley said, always gets to this somehow, some way.
The thing I want you to pay attention to is very simply this. As Tyreek Hill's teammates and his friends and brothers approach the situation, you see them there.
Teammates, friends, brothers, don't do me that. Don't do that. You ain't supposed to approach the situation. Dog, this is a traffic scene, traffic citation, traffic pullover. You can't just pull up. You can't pop out and show. What did y'all just can't. Like, what are you thinking? He told Calais Campbell, who I love, behind that car. What's hard about that? Either get behind the car or go deal with you didn't get behind the car. He told the other guy, he told Jonathan Smith, do not park there. He parked there. You're going to please preach to the masses accountability, brother.
They approach the situation nonviolently. They approach the situation with compliance. And yet the officers who are called.
Did he say compliance? Did you? He said he watched the foot. Come on, Acho. You know it. Me and you. Come on, no. You watch the footage. You know that ain't. Got them books, though. He got them books. Them books coming out. Something coming out. A conversation. Something
by
coming
the
out.
government to de-escalate a situation in order to enhance compliance. They escalate the situation themselves. Who is going to be the authority on the scene when the authorities are not acting in an authoritative manner?
Authoritative manner. If I tell you to do something, you don't do something, then I got to go with some consequences you're not going to like and desire. I think that's still being an authority. You're not listening to my commands, my lawful commands. I'm still being an authority. I'm trying to make sure that this scene is contained because I can lose my life. I don't know who pulling up. People are talking with so much entitlement. Dudes from everywhere, bigger than everybody, is just walking up talking about, hey, what's up? What's going on here? Have you not seen how cops get smoked because somebody just showed up? Have you not seen somebody who they pulled over turn around and go, wop, wop? Have you not seen a football player before go at it? Do I have to say Ray Caruth? Have you not seen a football player driving recklessly before and kill people?
So when I look at that, I'm distraught for several reasons, but mostly because once again, we see that power corrupts, and absolute power, it corrupts absolutely. And those cops were given absolute power, and thus it led to the corruption. They didn't even see Tyreek Hill as a human. They saw him as a footmat in which you walk on, a completely devastating situation.
Man, this is a bad joke, but y'all know I'm King Levity. He would have been better off as a footmat. Like from the hello, forget the speeding. He got pulled over for speed. If he would have acted like a footmat, he wouldn't have been popping off. He wouldn't have been non-compliant, and everything would have been fine. But this is what I want to hear. What can Chase say? And I guarantee you, because I already know what's going to happen, he ain't going to make no statements. Nah, Chase, you know how the game go when you boxed out. Ask a question to a brother.
And I want you to share with us if you don't mind.
Did you see how awkward? You see how them shoulders touching them ears?
Like you said, your 12-year-old kid. Ask him, what do you tell him in that situation?
They literally prepped this. And look, I'm not talking about beat by beat, but literally you get prepped, and you get prepped by a producer or you get prepped by your experiences. This is not my moment to talk. When it actually is, Chase. Like, what do you think of this situation? But you know damn well he ain't going across that grain. So he like, let me just throw you the ball again so you can seem like you gonna score.
Because he's 12, he understands it. He sent it to you.
And when he asked me, like, that was is he okay? Did it hurt him? And I took a step back like, yo. I said, like, physically it didn't hurt him, you know what I'm saying, because he's still playing the game. Yeah. But mentally, you don't know what type of trauma that is. So now when he's driving next time in the car in a cop, he's going to be terrified.
Okay, I know I lost a lot of y'all because y'all just don't want to hear me. But it ain't a lot of y'all still rocking with me because you're still listening. Here we go. You think Tyreek Hill is going to be terrified next time he get pulled over? Be real. Or if he's smart, you think he's going to listen, comply, and get on his merry way? Terrified? Put yourself in Tyreek Hill's position. How could you be terrified? I raised my hand to play the silly games. I raised my hand to not listen to you. How y'all been raised if you're going to be terrified for you messing around, being messy? How? Next time I see her, next time I see him, dog, next time you see him, this time don't mess with him. You'll be fine.
Right, like anybody would. So, like, talking to a 12-year-old, and then he don't understand it because in school, right, and his parents, we teach him, something goes wrong, you see something wrong, yo, call me or call the cops. Yeah. So, okay, my dad, my grandparents, something, call the cops, something goes wrong. But then hold up, I just see this Tyreek Hill thing. He got a 10-mile speeding ticket, but then they start grabbing him and putting their knee in his back. You see how that can be confusing? This is terrible.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Look, this show is Coach's Corner. Like, you know, we breaking down film. So when I hear something good, I'm gonna give it them props. I hear something crazy, we gotta pause and talk through it. Call the cops still. Your percentages are not 100% or zero in life. They're all relative, right? This is a relative experience called the human experience, right? All we're doing is giving ourselves percentages. You do not go to college and graduate and get a PhD because you're absolutely guaranteed to be successful. You do it because it increases your chances of being successful, right? You do it because it gives you more knowledge, but you don't do it for the absolute. So no, you're not gonna call the police and absolutely every single person in this world gonna have a great experience. I know that, you know that. But doesn't it increase the chances of a good experience if you comply, if you act respectfully, if you act like the golden rule still exists? Oh, well, they don't act. You have power over your choices, not theirs. But you don't have full power over the consequences. Please educate our kids better than this display I just saw right here, because if not, a lot of people are going to get hurt. You thought Tyreek Hill was bad. Like they are all saying right now, you know, the chant is, what if he wasn't Tyreek Hill? What if that person isn't Tyreek Hill and acts like that? I don't care who it is. You act like that, they ain't playing. Sad. All right, y'all. Go to projecttransition.org where we educate and empower the underprivileged. Make sure you support these kids. We have a gym membership. Givers every month. Make sure you support these kids. And also, have a beautiful day. I got to take these kids to school right now. Boy.